Now, if you're anything like me, you probably have hundreds of project files just sitting on your hard drive that are 8-bar loops or just short ideas that you never fully turned into a song. Now that can feel really discouraging, so let's help you finish those tracks. Now, one thing you can get stuck into that might be hindering your creativity is always thinking about starting with a 4-chord chord progression. Now, this is super common in pop, so I understand why a lot of people do it, but you're kind of restricting yourself in a box. A 4-chord loop doesn't need to start every single one of your tracks. The way I typically start a track is just with a musical idea. Now, this can be chords or a riff. It's just a musical idea. For example, if I'm writing a song on guitar, I'm not gonna start with figuring out a chord progression to build things off of. I might start with a melody or just kind of a rhythmic idea. Listen to some of your favorite songs that you feel like are a little bit unique. You might notice that there's not really any chords in there at all. Think about Seven Nation Army. That was not started with chords or a chord progression starting it off. It started with a riff. It started with that bass line idea, which probably started from him experimenting with playing more bass line style riffs on his guitar and then using a whammy to downshift in an octave. That's an example of how you can let sound design dictate your song. Sometimes not even starting with a musical idea, but starting with a sound can really jumpstart your creativity and lead you down a different path you didn't think you would go down. Now, another way that I like to get out of the writer's block is giving yourself limitation. It can sound counterproductive to give yourself limitation for you to be able to do more things, but it absolutely helps. Nowadays, with modern DAWs and VSTs, your options can seem limitless, and you're gonna focus on the wrong things. Limiting yourself to only 4 tracks, to only 1 instrument, to only a couple of effects can lead you to use a lot of workarounds that you might not have ever used before. These unique sounds, these unique ideas that you're going to come up with is going to lead to more and more creativity. It's going to be a domino effect of more ideas coming to you. Because the more that you get comfortable with things that you repeatedly do, the more stale the end product and the more stale that the process becomes. The best music is made when you're having fun making it. And then that brings me to my next point. Think about the aspects of music that you find most interesting. For me, I absolutely love sound design, and I love music theory too, but my favorite thing to do is just mess around with the synth and mess around with effects and get a really cool sound. So again, experiment and have fun. Another big reason that your tracks aren't getting finished is because you need to trust the process. If you have an 8-bar loop that you're just not feeling really inspired by, don't immediately trash it. Understand that it's not a finished production, it's not a finished song, and power through and just try to get there. And once you feel like it's fully produced and you don't like it, then you can leave it. But you need to trust the process, and especially don't compare your demos to songs on Spotify that you like. It'll never sound like that. And it shouldn't sound like that. It's a work in progress, and it's also your unique sound. Use other tracks for inspiration, but not for judgment. Thing that I've noticed after years of making music is demo-itis and ear fatigue is a real thing. Sometimes taking a break is good, or sometimes listening to your tracks on another set of speakers in a different context, or just after a night of sleeping on it can be a huge help. And the biggest thing is the only way to get better at producing and making music is just by doing it more and more. If you think that your tracks aren't up to snuff right now, keep doing it, because eventually it will, and you'll really surprise yourself when you go back to your old projects and see how much you've grown. There is not a single person out there that just can't make music. You just gotta try, and you gotta keep throwing things at the wall and see what sticks. The world wants to hear your music, I want to hear your music. Keep making it, but make sure you keep it fun and just have a good time. Mindset is a huge key.